Hey everyone, Sally Madison here coming to you live. Hope you're having a great afternoon. I've got Beck here from Pinkspiration or Pink Fitness Inspiration, is it?
Pinkspiration Fitness.
So I'm mentoring Beck, and one of the things that I always love doing with upcoming trainers is teaching this stability stuff. I'm actually creating a new program called Foundational Move Program, and it's only 10 minutes. And it'll actually set you up to have a great foundation for your strength training. So for us, it's all about lifelong change. It's all about being able to keep these principles up until your 80s, 90s and beyond. So these 3 stability exercises will keep you out of trouble. The first one we're going to do is a VMO step. So Beck here is just going to take us through. So what she's doing is she's making sure that she's got a toe turned out at a slight angle. She's got the weight through the heel. Then she's dorsiflexing or turning the toe up on this side. So common errors in this one, and I even picked it out with Beck when we first demoed these exercises before going live, is that the hips need to stay nice and horizontal. So think of like a broomstick. So if one of your hips dropping down, often that's an indicator that your VMO is not very active. The other thing that I also pointed out to Beck is that she needs to make sure that her knee tracks or travels in line with the second toe. If she starts to cave in, that's another indicator that her VMO is not very strong, so she needs to do more of this work, okay? Drop a 1 if you've ever experienced knee pain and you've brought it back and realised that your VMO needs strengthening. So she needs to do a little bit of work, and I can actually see her VMO shaking. But this is what I think really needs to be addressed in a lot of upcoming PTs and a lot of foundational strength training programs. Is all about stability stuff. So how are you feeling?
Yeah,
a bit
good.
shaky?
Yeah.
That's good. But look, there's a reason we have mirrors in the gym as well. I was saying to Beck that a lot of the time we want to try and make sure that our knees are tracking straight. If you're seeing anything dodgy like this, then take it back, break back the movement pattern, get it correct, get your stabilizer switched on, and then you can go back into heavier lifting. It means you'll be able to squat until you're friggin' 80, 90 with no injury, so how good's that?
Awesome.
Alright, second exercise we're going to do is one of my favourites. It's a single leg hip bridge. Now, a lot of people do this, but they always don't find that their glutes will fire. I sometimes like to do a hip mobility workout first, or a hip mobility exercise first, I should say, before going into this, because it means that her glutes will fire a little bit better when her hips are nice and lengthened. But for today, Bambi's trying to play, just come down to your back. For today, we're just going to show you the stability stuff. So what I'm going to get Beck to do, again, is get her foot in the right position, weights through the heel, her toes turned out at a slight angle, and then I'm going to get her to bridge both hips up at the same time, so bring them both up. Now I'm going to get you to squeeze your glutes as hard as you possibly can. You got that?
Yeah.
Then she's going to bring her left leg up nice and straight. So bring the left leg up. So already what I can see with Beck, and I hope you can see that at home, because this is what it's all about, is checking these imbalances. Her left hip is dropped, all right? So that tells me that there's some glute weakness there. So what Beck needs to do in order to engage her right glute the whole time is to keep her hips facing up. So there should be no drops either side. Her leg's just going to go in line with the other leg here, all right? And then you're going to drop down and then back up. And both ways nice and slow, and really driving up through the heel on the right leg there. So how are you feeling there? You feel like you're engaging?
Yeah.
And what you want to do, if you're doing this one at home, just make sure again that you've got those hips level the entire time, alright? So try not to cheat the move, okay? You're only cheating yourself. Keeping those hips level will make sure you engage your glutes the whole time. This would be a staple exercise before you went into something like a deadlift. If you do this exercise well, you should get sore glutes, and it'll ensure that when you go into your more bigger bang for your buck exercises like your deadlift, you're going to get the full experience of getting sore glutes and not injuring your back, which is what it's all about. So the last one I'm going to get Beck to do with me is her lower trap. So if you've just joined us, this is part of my 2018 Foundational Move program. Drop a 5 if you're interested in that. I'm also going to be seeing people face-to-face in the new year if you're in the Sunshine Coast. So drop a 6 if you're interested in that. I'll give you some more details. But this exercise is foundational for any upper body exercise, radio. If you're not getting your lower trap switched on, you're asking for trouble. I might get you to stand up first, actually.
Yep.
turn to the back. So your trap muscle is like an upside down triangle. You've got the tip here and then the base of the triangle's below. So what I'm going to try and teach Beck to do, and she's got a lot of overactivity up here, which is why she gets a lot of neck pain. You get headaches every now and then as well, not so much anymore. So she's been told that she's quite overactive here. So we need to strengthen up this part and try and deactivate through here. So we're going to get her to take a seat and then just bring the chest down to the knees. Yep, a little bit more. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to get Beck to do is draw her shoulders down. Then what she's going to do is squeeze or retract the scapula, keeping her arms straight. Yep. So what I'm trying to find here, as I'm coaching her, I'm trying to find that she's actually getting tension in that sort of lower trap area. So now the objective is to keep the tension on that lower trap, and she's simply going to bring the arms up and thumbs to the ceiling, and she's trying to get that arm above the ear without switching on her upper traps. Harder than what it looks, isn't it? So at the moment, I can tell that Beck needs to work on her shoulder mobility. She's not quite getting the full range of motion. And when she tries to get the arm right up, I can actually see, or I can feel, that the lower trap's switched off and the upper trap is switched on. So this is going to take a little bit of work, a little bit of repetition to try and get that lower trap working. So go again, squeeze up, so retract first. So she's retracting the shoulder blades first, trying to switch on the lower trap, then she's bringing that arm up, alright? So once she gets this, once that you get that lower trap firing, you'll actually translate this into every upper body exercise. So you'll do a better chin up, alright? You'll stay injury free. You won't get the shoulder injuries, okay? So all this stuff is so important and it's so underestimated. It's not being taught enough. And, you know, I did my course. I think I was like the first in Australia to even do their Cert 4. And, you know, I know a lot's changed since then, but Beck's just coming out of a online course at the moment, and it's, what is it?
Face-to-face.
Face-to-face, sorry, face-to-face. And, you know, like it's just this foundational stuff that I think really every trainer should be teaching their clients when they first go in. Because strength training is all about lifelong, and should all be sustainable. So I see too many times people go in gung-ho, they get injured, and they don't, you know, they don't want to continue. And it saddens me because I know firsthand what regular strength training can do, and consistent regular strength training. So thank you so much. Come up. And yeah, guys, thanks very much for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow. And drop a 10 if you got lots of value out of that, and thumbs up. See ya.